Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It is great to have you with us. This is Rapping for Days. I am Justin from Purple and Gold for Days. He is Rap with Purple Pocket Podcast. And the Vikings played one of the ugliest games. And that's the second time the Vikings and the Bears have played one of the ugliest games this season. I don't know what is going on, but that's not going to stop Rapping for Days. What's going on, Brother Rap? How are you this evening?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Like not feeling good after that game. For sure not feeling good after that game, man. That game, pitiful all around. Besides Josh Dobbs, just a pitiful ass game.
Yeah, sure, it absolutely was. Real quick, we're going to get to the people who are already in the building, but I already have the pinned comment up there on the chat. And if you were part of the Purple and Gold pregame show yesterday, you know what's going on and what I'm about to say here. But you know me. I like doing these banners things. So we're going to put me in Rap over here, and we're going to put this one up right here. Now, don't tell my daughter because she says, I don't like that picture, Daddy. Anything that goes into the Super Chats or the Cash App tonight will be going towards my daughter's field trip to the Big Apple. Mini me to the Big Apple. She's also going to tour a little bit of Washington, D.C. there as well. And the best part of this, ladies and gentlemen, is how this educational fundraising system works, is that I turn in the receipts over a given period of time. So I'm going to be doing this over the next couple of shows as well. But I do get some matching donations in there. So anything you can throw down to me would be very, very much appreciated. My daughter very, very much appreciates you guys as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Hope you had a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving, even though we had to watch the Packers win. And, oh, by the way, the Vikings had to crap the bed there as well. But let's get some shout-outs, Rap. Get your sounder ready. Get your sounder ready, because right off the bat, we got Skull for Life Barber with the first chat of the night. Start Hall and KOC play calling. These last two games have been awful, killing the defense. You ain't lying, Skull for Life Barber. You are not lying. We're going to touch on that. We definitely going to touch on that. Shout out Gary in the building. And right off the bat,
Gary, man.
Papa Gary with half the honey. Give him a Ric Flair for that.
Give him a Ric Flair for that.
And a Ric Flair.
Thank you so very, very kindly, Gary. Very much appreciate you. We got Miss Mary in the building. What a painful night. Yes, it was. Welcome back, Mary. It is good to see you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I know you put some time in with that great grandbaby of yours, but it is so good to see you. Everybody shout out Mary as well. I know half of you already done it that have been in the chat already, but good to see you as well. All right, scrolling down. We got my guy Ryan in the building. What is going on, Ryan? Great to see you here tonight, as always. Thank you so kindly for joining
Ryan in the building. What's happening? Hey, Ryan, you a DJ? Are you a DJ?
And a Ric Flair.
Shout out to you, man.
We got the single greatest Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace handle of all time. My worthless opinion. Why? Because it's a great handle, and your opinion is rarely, if ever, worthless, especially in our show. Shout out MWO in the building. What's going on, Worthless? Good to see you as well, as always.
Let's go, man.
All right. We got our guy Lemmy in the building. What's up, Lemmy? Josh job experience officially over. Yeah. Who should be our, you know what? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, Lemmy, but that's a good question. We're going to get to, that might be the whole show, to be honest with you. It might be the whole daggone show. Shout out T-Bass in the building. What's going on, T-Bass? Hey, whenever you can. It's all good, brother. It's all good. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. Thank you kindly as well. We got our guy Sodak in the building. What's going on, Sodak? Good to see you.
Shout out Sodak, man. Shout out Sodak in the building, man. Davey Chains in the building, too. I see you.
We got Two-Tone Tony in the building. We got the OG, the Mick Andrews. What's going on?
Andrews, let's go.
T-Bass, am I the only Viking fan that's not really shocked? No, none of us are shocked. I think we're shocked about how pitiful it was. You never can count on a division game to be an absolute win, but no, I think shock would be about for how absolute trash it was. Shout out Mateo. What's going on? What's cracking? Dobbs being a pocket passer. Yeah, pretty much. You ain't lying, Mateo. You ain't lying. Raymond's in the building. What's going on, Raymond? Thank you so kindly for joining me. All right, get your horn ready. Get your horn ready, because I got about 3 or 4 I got to put up here. So shout out Davey Change for the $10 super chat. Last night was a real sneaker. Right.
And a Ric Flair.
We going back to my worthless opinion with the $10 super chat. Get that girl to the Big Apple. You are correct, sir. Thank you much.
And a Ric Flair.
10 more from Gary. Thank you again, Gary. I very much appreciate you so very, very much.
Give me 2 caps and a Ric Flair.
And we got the 1999 from the Queen, Miss Mary. Thank you, Mary. Very much appreciate you.
Give me 2 caps and a Ric Flair.
Davey Chain says, hey, I'm original from the Big Apple. You know what? The only thing I said to her is, "Don't lose your phone because I know you're going to take about 10,000 pictures." She's like, "Dad, I need to get some more space on my phone." I say, "Yeah, we'll get some time with that." But anyway, shout out to Dave Thibodeau in the building. What's going on, Dave? Thank you,
man.
Appreciate you. Shout out McAndrews for the $10 super chat as well. Let's keep this rolling.
Let's go, McAndrews. Let's go, man. Let's get to the Rick Flynn there.
Give me 2 taps and a Ric Flair.
Tony Two-Tone says, shout out Tony Two-Tone as well. It was like a college football game. It wasn't even that. Calling it a college football game, it was like an Iowa facing Iowa. That's what it was. It was an inter-squad scrimmage between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Shout out to Norsevius in the building. What's going on, Norsevius? Good to see you as well.
Shout out Norse, man.
Let's
go. Guy.
I like what Mary. Neither team wanted to win. Yes, I said that last night on Vikings First and Skull. Here, you take this game. No, you take this game. It was absolutely pathetic. But all righty. Well, where should we start, Rap? I mean, should we start with the offense, the defense? Well, one more shout. Frozen North in the building. What's going on? But you take it away. What do you want to talk about first?
Man, we're going to talk about Joshua Dobbs, man. Joshua Dobbs is not him. I'm here to break y'all the news, man. Joshua Dobbs is not him. You hear me? Like, Joshua Dobbs is Joshua Dobbs. You hear me? Like, it's sad, man. The little fairy tale story's over with, so you might well hang it up. And guess what, man? I got to give it up for the people that, wanted to die on the hill of Joshua Dobbs. You feel me? Like, there's somebody that commented on my video that I released last night, which was really a bad quality video. I didn't care because I was mad as hell anyways, but a lot of people engaged with it, and I was surprised. But I'm gonna tell you, man, you had people dying on the Josh Dobbs hill, bro. Like, trying to act like it's not his fault. It's one thing to die on the Kirk Cousins hill. Like, that's that's a whole nother ball game. I get that. I actually get that argument. But to die on the Josh Dobbs hill, man, like that, man, what is this world coming to? Listen, as Vikings fans, bro, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, we deserve better. I'm going to just keep it real. Yeah. We deserve better and we need better. Like, that's just what it is.
No, it really is. Shout out.
We'll get into details, man. I'll let you go ahead and, we'll definitely get into details.
Yeah, we will. Shout out Gary for another 10. Appreciate you, Gary.
And a Ric Flair.
You know what? It was a nice Cinderella story for Josh Dobbs. It really was. You had the element of surprise in Atlanta because he had just gotten into the building 3 days earlier. Nobody had any clue what this guy was capable of. He had 2 turnovers and managed to overcome them. But the Saints, you had them for the first half. And then after that, the Saints adjusted. And since that point in time, halftime of the Saints game, this offense has been brutal. 1 field goal in the second half of the Saints game and 10 points in the entirety of the Bears game. 6 quarters, 13 points. I'll put it up there right here for you, Mary. The slipper is off. Yes, the glass slipper no longer fits. The coach has turned back into a pumpkin. And part of that, to me, I don't understand what KOC is thinking. We can talk about Josh Dobbs and how he just isn't a pocket passer. We can talk about that. That's true. We can talk about how he turns the ball over, how he's late on throws, inaccurate, all that good stuff. But why in the world are we not using his running ability? I don't understand it. I don't understand why you want to take this guy and try to make him a pocket passer. I get it. You can't live and die with a guy that's just going to take one read, don't see it, and take off running. That's not going to get you very far. But you don't have to go from 0 to 60 in, I'm going to completely take away design runs. I know maybe he's a little shell-shocked after that dumb, stupid play against Denver. We had TJ Hawkinson line up under center and then pitch him the ball. But you got to have some balance between all or nothing, don't you?
Yeah. And Frozen, it's funny you say that. Like, you were there saying Nick, Kirk, and Jaron would have choked too. Like, you can ask Gary during the stream. I was going with SK and telling SK, like, I don't think Kirk would have had that much of a better game. The way they were blitzing, I don't think he would have had that much of a better game. I think he would have had a better game.
Sure.
He definitely wouldn't have thrown for 4 interceptions.
Right.
He probably would have had an extra touchdown. I think we would have moved the ball a little better. But, I do believe he still would have struggled a little bit, though, because they were blitzing. Their defense was getting after it. Like, both defenses were getting after it for the most part. That's why it was turning out. But when you say, like, Dobbs, why aren't we using his legs? It was his choice not to use his legs last night. That right there had nothing to do with Kevin O'Connell. You could have drew up, I guess, QB run plays if you wanted to, but
Right.
Dobbs, that's not what Dobbs is good at. Dobbs is good at the play breaking down, and then he decides to take off. Like that's the type of running quarterback he is. It's not like a Lamar Jackson where you do the RPOs and what I mean, you actually design QB runs. I mean, he probably would be decent at it, but at the end of the day, the magic we've been seeing has been, hey, wide receivers aren't open. All right, I'm taking off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it was. And he decided to try to be a pocket passer last night. Like for some reason, he wanted to show the world that he can throw the rock on national TV. And he embarrassed himself, bro.
Right.
Like straight up, he embarrassed himself.
I will say this. I think part of that, though, and where I'll go back to KOC on this is I think now that he's been in the building for a couple of weeks, maybe KOC has tried to coach some of that out of him to say, okay, you know what? Don't be running off so often. Let's stick in the pocket a little bit. And I don't have an issue with that per se. I'm just saying you don't need to legislate all of it out of him. So regardless of whether it's Dobbs or whether it's KOC, it was just ugly last night. Yeah, one of those interceptions off the hands of Jordan Addison. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can give a pass to Dobbs on that one. And yes, one of them was on a 4th down where it was basically a short punt anyway. So it wasn't as big of a deal as the other two, but he also had one dropped on him that would have easily gone for a pick six.
But
so
real quick too, man, before you go on, man, I got to say this though, man, because I've been saying this, right? This is when we got to go back and think about even the Falcons game. We got to think about the Saints game.
Yep.
Think about how many turnover-worthy throws he made, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about that. Think about the ones that didn't. They were this close to being an interception. Like, he literally had, and even in the Falcons game, and we can give him a pass because he just came in there. I get it. But even yet, you know what pisses me off? You want to know how I know he's just not a smart quarterback. Like, he's smart as a damn whip outside of the football field. But I'm going to tell you, on the field, he's not as smart as we think. Man, listen. Think about the interception he had in Atlanta where he was getting sacked and he just threw the ball into the lap of the defender.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about last night when he was getting sacked and he freaking threw the ball, bro. Like literally just threw the ball. Like, I mean, come on, dog. Just threw the ball. Like, this man is dangerous, man. Think about that screen pass last night where he just threw the ball. Like, literally, these are plays that I'm telling you, man, most of the time, these are going to turn into turnovers, man. Like last night, like you mentioned, the pick six, that should have been a pick six.
Mm-hmm.
We get 1 or 2 of those every game since we've had Dobbs.
Yep.
1 or 2 of those every single game, bro. Every single game. I always call it the play where the defender puts their hand on their helmet because they know for a fact they should have had that. Like he's giving y'all the presence. And I'm telling you, as the season progresses, if we keep moving forward with Dobbs, those are going to start turning into pick sixes. And guess what? It's going to happen in the worst time where it's going to just stab us right there because we're going to sneak into the playoffs and then pick six king going to come out, man. I just don't want to see it, man.
No, I totally agree. On O-line top 5, I had KOC. So Davey Chains is on the KOC. Was that most? You know what? There's a lot of blame to go around. Let me get some shouts. Roger's in the building. What's going on, Roger? Good
Shout
to
out,
see
Roger.
you as well. Sodak says he would take Kirk back in a second.
Absolutely.
I don't even think anybody can
finish
argue
this
that.
season out. Absolutely.
Yes. Now
absolutely.
Beyond that,
I was already okay with having Kirk as my quarterback this season. Like I was good with going through this season and riding for Kirk. Like, yes, we might have been talking about him, but at the end of the day, I was okay with it because I accepted it. Now, when Dobbs came, y'all and I'm gonna watch my mouth, right? But all of y'all told R.A. Peasy to jump on the Dobster not. Yeah. And I was like, listen, this guy is not good, bruh. Like, seriously. And you know what? I felt bad the night I went to sleep because y'all made me feel bad about it. Y'all made me feel bad. And I said, you know what? The community making me feel guilty. You know what? Dobbs gang, let's go. Especially after I seen that game. And I knew I jumped on that train too soon, man. This dude is not good. There's a reason why 6 different teams passed on him and didn't even keep him as a backup. There's a reason. Yeah. That is not a coincidence, bruh. That does not happen on accident. That is just that right there is enough evidence to show you that this guy just isn't good enough to damn there be a backup. Damn there be a backup. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, motherfucker don't even want to keep him as a backup. Like, let's just be honest, man. We got him as our starter, and our standards are so low as Vikings fans for quarterback. It makes no sense. And I'm not doing it no more. I'm
No,
not.
I do not disagree. Shout out Steven in the building. What's going on, Steven? How you doing? I think the slipper fell off. Yeah, we used that one. Oh, we're totally agree. Shout out Joey in the building. What's going on? As usual, KOC and Cam are smarter than everybody else. Yeah, that might have a little something to do with it. We got Chuck in the building. What's going on, Chuck? Good to see you. Thank
Shout
you
out
so
Chuck,
kindly for joining. Appreciate you guys as always. And let's just hit the reset button. If you didn't wipe your feet at the door, hit that like button if you could, please. And hit that share button. Share it out on Facebook, X, MySpace, whatever you want and whatever you can. We all very much appreciate that here. I've got it scrolling at the bottom, but let's just hit the reset button here real quick. One more time for those of you just joining us. My baby girl will be going on a field trip to the Big Apple. I say mini me to the Big Apple. She'll be touring Washington, D.C. as well. Anything donated tonight and my next couple shows will also getting matching donation from the educational system. So anything you guys can throw down tonight here, very much appreciate you. And she will as well.
Let me do this real quick, man, to Mateo saying like, who do we have, right?
Yeah.
Listen, Mateo, you got to realize that it's not about who we have. It's about who we don't have. and it's about fixing the problem, right? Because you could say, who do we have? We can go we can go sign, we can bring Sean Mannion in. Then if that's the case, you know what I mean? You're not going to fix the problem. So what we're saying is regardless, yeah, we got Dobbs. We do. But he's garbage, so it doesn't matter. Like, he's not going to win us. We're not winning with Dobbs, bro. Like,
right.
We're not. I'm just sorry. We're not, bro. It's not. Like, next game, he might come out after the bye and run 2 touchdowns. And yes, you're going to have fans roll right back on that bandwagon. And then I'm telling you, he going to snatch that shit right up out your chest the next game after that. I'm telling you, bro. Like, it's not happening. It's not.
No, it's not.
We got Jared Mahomes Hall, too, by the way, Mateo.
Yes, on, that's who we got, and that's who we want. That is who we want. At least that's who I want. Put it in the chat. You guys
Jared Mahomes Hall, man.
You want Jared Mahomes Hall? You want more Josh Dobbs? You want to go to Nick Mullins because, well, you know, he's similar to Kirk, and that's.
I gotta say, I don't want Nick Mullins. No. I don't want Nick Mullins, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. Shout out Gary for another $9.99. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so kindly. Hit him up with the horn or the Ric Flair, whichever one you feel like.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I'm reading my tab.
Give me 2 taps and a Ric Flair.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point, Mateo. I mean, listen, the Vikings right now, you got a point. The Vikings, right? We're just in a bad predicament. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, listen, our quarterback went down and we're in a bad predicament. So, like, that's why I was saying this 2 weeks ago, like, guys, don't be surprised if we see Hall by the end of the season. Y'all remember me saying that? Like, I was telling y'all, like, I'm not going to be surprised. Like, what happened last night with Dobbs, I wasn't surprised. I'm just mad because I knew it was going to happen eventually. I knew I was going to have to face it. I didn't think it would happen on Monday Night Football while I'm streaming the game, trying to have a good night. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, you couldn't do it on a Sunday. You know what I mean? At 12 o'clock. You had to wait till the whole world was watching.
You're right. With the whole, you are correct.
Like, sheesh, man.
I like what Joey says. I want a mobile quarterback, just not Dobbs. Yes, absolutely. And yes, to anybody who thinks that Rap and I, you know, some would label us Kirk haters. The person I normally do the Tuesday night show with. Shout out to Dave on his cruise with his family. In all seriousness, we love you, Dave. But yeah, of course we would rather have Kirk because that was never in question. What we said, and like you said earlier, he was having one of his better seasons, and we finally have a halfway decent defense. Everybody want to talk, the defense gave it up at the end. The defense gave up 4 field goals. We are not putting any of this on the defense. I know they gave up a couple of big plays on that last drive in particular, as well as when they had him on 2nd and 27 and they still gave up a first down. But the defense, once again, for like the 5th time this season, is the only reason we were even in that game in the first place. So Brian Flores, shout out to him. It was a wasted performance by the defense. By the offense. The defense has had a great performance that was absolutely wasted. I mean, you got anything bad to say about the defense at all, Rap?
Same thing with the Denver game, man.
Yep.
Like, it was the same thing with the Denver game. I mean, you can honestly say it was the same thing with the Saints game. As good as the first half of the Saints game looked, Kevin O'Connell went in his shell, man. I just don't get this man, dog. Like, he has the ability. I feel like he is the right guy. I still feel like he's the right guy. I do. But man, if he keeps doing that, man, a couple more times of that, man, I'm gonna have to start thinking a little different, man, because you know, you have to like listen. First of all, this is what it boils down to. First of all, now y'all know how we've been talking about Madison, and I got to give Madison. Listen, Madison played a pretty decent game yesterday. Like he did last night. He had a couple good runs. He did. You know, he had a better game than Ty Chandler due to the fact of the amount of touches he got. Right, but listen, when you hand Madison the ball twice, back to back, this is what I don't get, right? This is how Dobbs was misused last night. We go down and we score a touchdown, right? Josh Dobbs flexes. He got his confidence back. This is what being a leader is about. This is about knowing you are the main leader. So you should see that your player out there is oozing with confidence now. He's had a dark game all game, and he finally shook it off, and he's ready now. Like now you can't tell him nothing. He just threw a dart to TJ for a touchdown. Your defense comes out and causes a turnover. You don't even allow him. You don't even allow him, dog, to try to throw another dart downfield, 10 yards, 8 yards, 3 yards. You know, you don't even allow him. You tell him to turn around and hand the ball off to Alexander Madison up the middle, where if you look at the entirety of this season, you could see that play is like you going to the store right now and hitting $100,000 on a lottery ticket. It just doesn't work this year, bro. It just doesn't work. But yet you did it 2 times in a row. That's how dumb. Like, I mean, come on, man. That play right there, bro, like that sequence right there is what really annoyed me the most to Kevin O'Connell and made me really want to just like curse him out last night, bro. Like it just pissed me off. And then he got the nerve to get mad at Brian Flores when there was 12 men on the field. Bro, he shouldn't have been in that position from the get-go.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Shout out to the Toy Box. What's going on, Toy Box? Good to see you as always. We got Yogi in the building. What's going on, Yogi? Thanks again for joining as always. I don't know exactly where we would be, but we'd probably be somewhere between 8 and 13 if we went 0-5 and ended up, what would that be? 6 and 11. Yeah, we'd probably be somewhere between 8 and 13. But yes, we can absolutely put to rest the Dobbs narrative for next year. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've both made our stances clear that we're ready to move into a different direction from Kirk Cousins. But if my only 2 choices were Kirk Cousins and Josh Dobbs, as much as I don't like the idea of signing a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury that's going to mess with your salary cap with all of the things that we got going on there, that's not even debatable. It's not even debatable that if you had to sign one of those 2 guys and they were the only guys you could sign, no, it's Kirk Cousins, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
Oh, yeah, it's not even close at all.
Shout out, Gary, for another 5 bones. Thank you so very, very kindly, Gary. We appreciate you.
Yeah, man. And yeah, you know, shout out T-Bass too, man. Brian O'Neill was getting bullied. I mean, this offensive line really
not very good.
The past 2 games, man. I mean, they've kind of fallen off a little bit and came back down to reality, you know. And I always wonder, like, what changed, right? Like, what changed? Like, sometimes, you know, I know football's a game of, you know, any given Sunday at most times where I get it one time, but for you to do it 2 times in a row, it's like, what changed? What did you guys change? Right? Because everything, the lineup's the same. You guys are, you know, obviously should be running the same schemes for the most part. You might mix them up a little bit, but why? Like, why all of a sudden now when and the Bears are so bad, man. They gave us time after time, penalties, and just, you know, Justin Fields just being garbage. And just, I mean, it's just like, yo, if you can't beat them, man, shit, I don't know.
Exactly. Real quick, you have a good night, Gary. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the donos, and Gary, hope you feel better, man. Hope you feel better. To that point, you played like garbage the entire game, had 4 turnovers. You get 1 turnover, you turn it into a touchdown. And they're like, okay, we done played like 6 different kinds of dog crap out there, but we got the lead. And then on the next possession, the defense gets you another turnover. Shout out to my cousin, Sheldon Day. Okay, he's really not my cousin, but that's all right.
Yeah, he was balling, man.
He was balling last night. So you get another turnover. Josh Metellus was playing with his hair on fire. Let's give it up to Josh Metellus, by the way. But
man, let's give Josh Metellus a Rick Flynn there, man. Go blue.
And you know what? While we're at it, let's give one to our guy Najee, by the way, too, with the blowing up that guy on special team.
Go. and a Ric Flair.
I had my Najee shirt on, but it was a little too cold down here in the studio, so I had to put a sweatshirt back on. But the point I'm making is this: your defense kept you in this game despite 4 turnovers, got 2 turnovers themselves, and on that second drive, as you said, yes, I get it. You want to bleed some clock. You want to bleed the Bears of their timeouts and all that other good stuff, right? Okay. You just needed to get 1 more first down, maybe 2. That's all you needed to do. And you go into this Mike Zimmer run up the middle, not a toss sweep, not a play that maybe has a chance to get you 4 or 5 yards, not just a quarterback sweep altogether. You could have done 50 different things besides hand the ball off to Alexander Madison right up the middle when the Bears were absolutely sitting on it waiting to go. So again, defense gave you everything they possibly could. And I agree with you. With all of the things that we can say about KOC yesterday,
yeah,
that last drive offensively, and I'm not counting that one play trying to do the Stanford band play. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the last actual drive where it's like, really? You played like garbage. You need to get 1 first down to win this game, and you couldn't do it. I mean,
you didn't even try to do it. That's the problem.
Yes.
You didn't even try. Like, you didn't even try.
I like this one from Joey. It looked like they had 10 men on offense on the field. Oh, you ain't lying, Joey. You ain't lying.
You didn't even try, man. No. That's what hurt me so bad is you didn't even try. Like you run 2 halfback dives and then throw a screen, man. You didn't even try, Kevin O'Connell, bruh. No. Like, why, man? Like, it's just like, yo, 1 fucking point. We get up by 1 point. You know for a fact that the chances of them getting in field goal range are probably higher than normal because it's the end of the game. Defense tired. Man, come on, man. Everything was stacked against you, bro. All you had to do was do your part, you know, and do your part for just 2 minutes of the game.
Right.
Like Brian Flores
did 1 drive.
Brian Flores did it the rest of the goddamn 58 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. Like, you can't do it too? Like, come on, man. It's just it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And he's doing this over and over again, and it's pissing me off, to be honest with you.
Shout out to Chuck for the great comment here. If they re-sign Hunter and JJ, I hope they trade up for quarterback. Let's also give some love to Danielle Hunter, who was all over the place last night.
Shout out Danielle Hunter.
The only thing I will say defensively is in that first quarter, and well, first half, missing a lot of tackles. They should have had like 6 sacks on Justin Fields yesterday.
Yeah.
They should have had like 6
but
sacks.
He's good at that. He's good at that, though. So, but yes, I do agree.
Shout out to your guy, by the way, Pace Gang. I know you got something to say about Pace Gang.
Yeah, shout out Pace Gang, man. Like Pace finally got him a sack. You know, finally got him a sack. I was lit about that on stream. You know what I'm saying? That was definitely a good moment for me. Him getting that sack, man. I like that. But yeah, man, you know, Justin Fields is known to break out of he's known to break out of sacks, and he's hard to bring down. So I mean, yes, there was plentiful opportunities for us to get sacks, but again, I think about who we're going with, man. Justin Fields elusive, man. The dude elusive, man. You know, that's why I asked people leading up into that game, like, would you be okay with swapping out a Dobbs for a Fields? You know what I'm saying? That's why
I wanted him to draft Justin Fields when he came out. I wanted to get him, and everybody, you know, Mike and a couple.
He still was ass, though. He still was ass,
right? But he was in Chicago, and they didn't put any kind of infrastructure around him. He didn't put any infrastructure around him. Let me get a couple of shouts here because I got some. We got a couple of people. We got Wev Dev Bro in the building. What's going on? We got Dayon in the building. What's going on? Thank you guys all for joining us. We got the other queen. We got Sarah in the building.
Let's go.
Okay. So if Dobbs threw the ball and it was incomplete because they went to get a first down, would you be mad that they went for it? I hear that point, Sarah, and I was going to bring it up, and I saw your comments up. I was going to put it up there. Yes, I get it that if you try a pass and it goes incomplete and then the clock is stopped or Chicago doesn't have to take their timeouts, that opens him up for criticism. But I would rather go down swinging with the opportunity to just get 1 first down and end the game and not even put your defense back on the field. But yes, I am the type of person that I'm.
No. So hold up. So let me ask you this, Sarah. What do you think the right way to play football is? If you in that position, what would you done in that position? You know what I mean? Like, and I want to know what you would do too. So like, because we can't, what we can't do is say both are wrong.
Right.
Both can't be wrong. There has to be a way to do things and a way not to do things. And if you ask me, the way we did it was the way not to do it. If you're thinking about the game of football, right? You're up by 1 point. All right. You're not up by 3. If you were up by 3, then I can understand that logic because you can hold them to a field goal. They can tie the game and you still put your team in a place to go into overtime for a chance to win the game. Right.
Right.
All right. They already kicked 4 field goals. It's one thing that if they needed a touchdown, we kept them out of the end zone the whole game. But the evidence throughout the game showed that they were able to get in field goal range 4 times.
Well,
You know
3 up to that point. Yeah.
So that right there already tells you like, oh, them getting in field goal range, they've been able to do that all night. That's not been the issue. They haven't been able to score touchdowns, but we were only up by 1 point. So why would you? So to answer that, I would want you to throw the ball. Why? Because the drive right before that, Josh Dobbs was on the money.
And the 2 drives defensively, Justin Fields fumbled the ball.
But I get the field for a touchdown.
Right.
Why? Because Josh Dobbs was throwing the ball nicely.
Right. I get Sarah's point. Absolutely. And it's always a talking point when you run the ball to try to run out the clock and you don't get a first down. Well, you should have thrown it. Well, if you throw it and it's incomplete, you should have ran it. So she's got a very, very good point. I would always err on the side of I'd rather be aggressive, particularly with how well the defense was. Now, real quick, let me shout out Young Cringe here. What's going on,
Again,
Cringe? Good to see you.
Like I said 2 shows ago, that's what you call coaching to not lose the game. Instead of coaching to win the football game, you're coaching not to lose the football game. And 9 times out of 10, what happens? You wind up losing those games. The same way how we lost the Denver game. It's done happened twice in a row. So to think that that is the way to go is mind-blowing to me, man. It's mind-blowing, especially the type of run. You know what I mean? Like, if you run a dive, like running a halfback dive up the gap, right, like that is not trying to get a first down. All right? Not getting no first down with that shit. Man, at least try to get them to the outside, put Todd Chandler in and try to run a sweep or something. I mean, do a screen on first down or something. I mean, like that shit was bullshit. First of all, there was 2 minutes and 40-something seconds left. They had a 2-minute warning. Like, listen, the clock was there, man. I mean, you needed to just go down and put the dagger in them for sure. I'm trying to hit none of that other.
Nah, I don't blame you. Again, it's one of those deals where you could go either way with it. You could go any way with it. Shout out nephew in the building. What is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, we're all pissed off, JJ. We are all pissed off. Oh,
I mean, and the real truth is the game shouldn't have even got to that. You know what I mean?
No, it really shouldn't have. It absolutely shouldn't have. Hey, Northfield, it's all good. I'll get the matches for the next couple of shows, so it's all good. Whether it's this week or next week, it's all good. So I appreciate you. Joey says 10 times out of 10, I change the play if it dives. Josh Dobbs is not going to feel like he's in a position to be in a position to be calling audibles at that point. If he calls an audible and it goes haywire, he's going to get his head.
Why is that?
I know.
Why is that?
Hey, Barbara, that's cool. I appreciate you. With all that being said, well, Sarah's got a point. Dan Campbell was aggressive and it backfired him in the Packers game. That's true. You live by aggressiveness, you die by it sometimes. So ultimately,
okay, so let me ask you this.
I'll say this and then I'll let you go.
No, man, because you got to stop doing it. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, tonight, you got to stop. We have to stop acting like everything is the right way.
No,
because that is not true, bro. Like, it's not true. Both cannot be right. Both can't be right.
What I was going to say is that, yeah, Dan Campbell, he's gone for it a bunch of times, and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't, and you have to live with that. But I agree with you. We can't say they made the wrong choice, and then if they had gone the other way, say they made the wrong choice. I'm totally agreeing with you on it. I'm saying from the standpoint of, at that point, you're hot, so to speak. You had one good drive. I would have tried to have been a little bit more aggressive there. But the question I was going to ask you is, they punted on that. Would you have tried a long field goal to try to go up by 4, knowing that if they miss it, you give them 10 extra yards? Or do you think you made the right call punting?
I think you made the right call punting. You know what I mean? You made the right call punting right there, because that would have been stupid. You know what I mean? If you're trying to kick a long field with Greg Joseph, the way he's been balling, like what we got to start doing is we got to start looking at evidence, right? I think we got to start looking at evidence and trends of our football team to help us understand why we're mad at what we watch and why we're happy at what we watch, right? And one of the main reasons that I'm super mad at what I watched,
right,
is the truth is we watched Alexander Madison the whole season. We know that he is not getting a first down 9 times out of damn 10 running the football. And you still choose to hand it to him not once, twice. And we got the results that we are used to. So it's not surprising. That's what makes me mad, is that we hand it off to Alexander Madison and we gain a total of maybe 3 yards off 2 damn handoffs. And that's what we've seen since September 9th.
Yep.
You feel me? That's what we've seen. This doesn't just start last night. We know that this was going to happen for the most part, man. And what makes me mad is, yes, Josh Dobbs was having a bad game, but the drive before that, he made so many good throws. He made like 4 good throws and threw a touchdown pass. Let him throw the damn ball, man. That's all I'm saying. Let him throw the damn ball. I mean, like what I'm saying is we can't be happy that, well, it was the right thing we did to run the ball. Was it the right thing? It feels like it was the right thing to do? Because to me, it doesn't, because we lost the game exactly how any team in that position that the coach calls a play like that would lose. We lost due to Kevin O'Connell being a pussy. Like, that's just what it is, bro. Like, straight up, you can't cut it no other way, man. Facts. Like, it just is what it is, bro. You wanted me to turn up tonight, man.
Hey, I knew there was not going to be any punches pulled here tonight.
Yeah,
let me get a couple shouts.
That's just what it is, man.
I want to mock Bob is in the building. What is going on? They played like dogs, believe. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Shout out to Joey for the $10 super chat. I love the Vikings, but I'm realistic. Competitive rebuild equals forever mediocre. Joey, I don't know how long you've watched us, but I've been saying the mediocre is the worst place to be for about 2 years. I said when they fired Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman that they should have traded Cousins and traded a whole bunch of players away and just done what the Bears have done. Yes, it would have sucked. We wouldn't have had 13-4 last year. That picture of me and my daughter was actually us at the Indianapolis Colts game, the greatest comeback ever. We wouldn't have those memories. But yes, competitive rebuild is the worst thing to do. You either go for it or you take a step back. But yes, this team's probably going to end up with 7, 8, and maybe 9 wins and be picking around 18 or 19 because that's just what they do.
And yeah, again, and I mean, let's be serious, man. All of us have been fans and went through the Mike Zimmer era, man. Like, all of us have been fans and went through the Mike Zimmer era. This same type of up by 1 point, up by 2 points. Oh, let's turn around and hand the ball off 3 times and then punt the ball.
Right.
And then depend on our defense to make some miraculous stop. Like, at some point, we got to start depending on offense, man. At some point, like, this team was supposed to be built off offense. Now, this year, I guess the tables have turned due to coaching because Brian Flores has a bunch of no names flying around, balling out. Give him his flowers. We always do. But, going into this season, man, the Vikings were supposed to be high-powered offense, this, that. And yes, I understand Justin Jefferson's out. Kirk Cousins got hurt. That's understandable. But your coach is supposed to make up for that and make sure that's what a good coach does, puts his players in the position to win football games. And again, I'm not going to take away from still winning 2 games with your star quarterback and your star wide receiver being out. You still get flowers for that. But the way you're losing is what's making it annoying because you know what? We're getting to the nitty gritty. And these are games like, if we want to get in the playoffs, these are games that they're right there for you to win, man. And if you stop making, and you could tell in his press conference when they asked him the question, and I'm telling you, man, shout out to the reporters this year, man. Like the Vikings reporters, man, if y'all aren't on point with them, man, go listen to the question. I gotta go in there and high five some of them dudes, man, and ladies. Because they asking all the right shit. Why did you run the ball twice? You know what I'm saying? Like they sound like me asking the question if I was in there, man. Like for real, bro. Like shout out to them. But you could tell he was embarrassed. You could tell he was embarrassed. It was all on his face in the press conference. He was embarrassed, man.
Everything.
Because he knew he was a wuss. You know what I'm saying? Like tuck this tail once again. Quit tucking your tail, Kevin O'Connell. And the crazy part is I still like Kevin O'Connell. I still think he's the right choice, man.
But he's got to turn it around from his mentality. Real quick, shout out to Colton in the building. What's going on, Colton? Good to see you as always. Thank you so kindly for joining us. Let's just hit the reset button here while we're at it. If you didn't, on the way in, wipe your feet at the door, hit that like button. If you don't already subscribe to both Purple and Gold for Days as well as Purple Pocket Podcast, hit up both channels. Again, this is Rapping for Days, our post-game show with them going Monday night. We weren't going to go till midnight. And the fact that Under the Lights, after going 1 year consecutively and never missing a show, Dave goes on vacation with his family on a cruise, and so it was just a perfect time to do the Rapping for Days show here. But we alternate every week, so half the time it's on this channel, half the time it's on the other. So you want to be subscribed to both channels if you could, please. Also, want to thank everybody who has come through the door here tonight. So hit those like buttons, hit that share button if you could, and let's keep this rolling here. I like Gun Cringes came. I blame the Wills for this entire mess. They only hire those GMs or coach who they can control. Well, there is something to be said with that. Again, they're content with mediocrity. They are content with mediocrity. I've said that a million times. I almost don't even want to go through that whole thing again, but Kevin O'Pond. That's a good one, North Face.
We ain't gonna go through that.
Nah, we're not going to the owners tonight. We got too much going on. Okay, moving forward. We got this bye week. We both said that we'd rather have Jaren Mahomes Hall coming out here. Do you think that that's what the Vikings are going to do, or do you think they're going to go with Nick Mullins? Or do you think they're going to go with Josh Dobbs?
I do like after listen. Any other quarterback that isn't proven in the NFL, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Josh Dobbs is not proven. I don't give a damn how y'all feel. Josh Dobbs is not proven yet, man. All right. He had 2 football games where he played decent. Okay. All right. So let's pipe down a little bit. So any other quarterback that has a game like that does not get to come back. All right. Does not get to come back the following week. I don't give a damn. Right. But again, I'm going off of evidence. I love evidence, bro. I love it, man. Because, usually trends will tell you what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you, what trend are we going to look at for this situation? Well, we're going to look at a couple of them. We're going to look at the facts that, Kevin O'Connell doesn't bench Alexander Madison after fumbling footballs. All right. We didn't see that. We're going to look at the facts that he didn't put Jordan Addison as the number 2 option after showing that he's a lot better than the rest of them. Know what I mean? So my answer is, yeah, we probably are going to see Josh Dobbs. You know what I mean? Probably 100%. 100%. He's going to roll out there against the Raiders. 100% after having a game like that. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But I think they'll look at Hall, though.
I don't think I wouldn't put it at 100 because even in his press conference last night, he was non-committal to him. I think he would have said,
just like he said he's gonna bench people when they fumble. Right. I remember that too, 100%.
There's something to be said there. Shout out Darian in the building. What's going on? Special thanks to Rap for holding KOC accountable. You are correct. I got to throw this up for Mary. Frustrating to see fans want Flores fight. Who in the? Where are you seeing that, Mary? Because I have not seen that.
Yeah,
I can't believe there'd be anybody crazy enough to say they want him gone.
That's crazy.
Let's see here. Don't hate the owners. We need them not to meddle. We want to. Well, there's a little something to that too. But the problem with the only problem, and we're not going to go down this rabbit hole. All I'm going to say about the owners is this: they are content with being just good. They are more concerned about not being bad than they are about being great, which is why they have always constantly been in the middle. They always want to be in that hunt, and if they can get into the playoffs, okay, that's what they're looking for. They saw the Giants go to the playoffs twice and win a Super Bowl because they got hot. And I'm just like, yeah, but you can't really count on that. But having said it, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Wills are bad owners by any stretch of the imagination. They spent a lot of money getting TCO and all those other perks over there in Egan. So I'm just saying that I want their mindset to change. And hopefully after this season, we're not just going to be doing the same thing.
You know what? You want to know another thing, man, that like, what I don't understand is, like, we look at Josh Dobbs, right? And for some reason, man, we have a fan base that believes that he is this much better than a rookie quarterback like Jaren Hall. Like, some people actually believe that, right? People actually, without even seeing Jaren Hall play a football game. You feel me? Like, without even seeing him play. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, one thing I can almost guarantee you that Jaren Hall probably is better than Dobbs. And I guarantee you there's only one thing Dobbs probably better than Jaren Hall in football is, man. And I'm going to tell you, that's probably running, like the unscripted, maybe getting up out of there and running. You know what I mean? I give him that. But I can almost promise you that Jaren Hall is a way better decision maker than Josh Dobbs.
More accurate.
I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. You know what I'm saying? And why are we acting like we're losing so much? You know what I mean? Like, the drop off is not, y'all acting like the drop off gonna be crazy.
No,
You
it
know what
can't
I
be
mean?
that crazy at all. That's ridiculous. All
Yeah,
right, man.
like not going from Kirk to one of them.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue anybody on that. All right, going from Kirk to one of them, I get it. But going from Dobbs to Hall, bruh, there's not that big of a drop off, bruh. They
No.
showed his. He said, and Darian, I got you. You said I think experience matters. I think the speed of the game does matter. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I think what benefits Hall to make up for that balance is he's been in the system from the beginning,
Yes.
and been around Kirk Cousins and them since training camp. So I think, he's really molded in. He hears the plays. He knows exactly what it's supposed to, if he has good study habits, you know what I mean? But, like, it's like, man, I just don't think the drop off's going to be that bad if you just see
No.
what you got with Hall, man. Just
But
see
that's
what
the
you
thing.
got, bro.
That's exactly where I'm at. And then there's a couple of comments I want to put up here. But to me, at this point, you know what you have with Nick Mullins. You know what you have with Josh Dobbs. You don't know what you have with Jaron Mahomes Hall. Neither one of us are saying that Hall is on the fast track to becoming a franchise quarterback and is going to win 5 Super Bowls. We're not saying that. What we're saying is you got 5 games left. I would rather use these 5 games and find out what we have with the kid. And if we can definitively say, all right, this kid doesn't have it, then okay, now we know. But if you're going to waste 5 games with Nick Mullins and then you still don't know what you got in the Hall, that's just dumb to me. All right, I want Mary answered her question, so I want to put this back up here so we can move on from that ridiculousness. And of course,
all right, and one more thing before you answer that, because I want to get back to Darian too, saying experience matters, right? I just want to make this point too. Like, there's a certain type of experience that you want. All right. You know what Josh Dobbs' experience is? Losing a lot of football games. Okay? Losing a lot of football games. Listen, they had the nerve to put the goddamn graphic up on the TV showing that he was 1-7 with the Cardinals with like 8 interceptions and 5 fucking touchdowns. And then with us, he was 2-1 and still had a fucking interception to touchdown ratio that was bad. You hear me? Like, it's just facts. It was bad.
Terrible.
Right.
Utterly
so,
terrible.
like, yeah, experience is one thing, but when you bringing in a loser, like that rubs off. I'm telling you, man, you got a guy that's okay with losing. Not that he doesn't get mad when he loses, but again, when he does lose, it doesn't really affect him as much because he's used to it. You get used to things, man. Right. He's been losing since he's been a quarterback, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to call him a loser as a person. I'm just saying,
right.
I've been part of a team like that for 2 years. I've been part of a team. I hate losing, bro. Like, I'm competitive as hell, right? But I was on a team where in 2 years, basketball team, 2 years, we won 2 basketball games.
Ugh.
And we went into every game thinking that we were going to win, but we would lose. And it got to the point in the second season that it didn't even affect the locker room anymore, bro. By mid-second season, we would get blown out. We're still in the locker room laughing. We know we just lost, but we're so used to it. Right. And, it just doesn't affect you anymore. And that happens to these guys that bounce around the NFL too. That's why I like bringing in guys that have been on a championship team, that have been on a Super Bowl team. That makes a difference. That attitude. For sure.
Shout out Bandito. Linsanity was over. Yeah, it was. But thanks for coming, Bandito. And we totally agree. Got our hopes up for just a minute. All right. So Mary said that there were people in different Vikings groups that were saying anybody who says they want Brian Flores fired, they're still hungover from Thanksgiving or something. I can't for the life of me figure out why in the world. It's one thing to say, hey, I would love to see Brian Flores promoted to head coach. That's one thing. And that's a debate it's never going to happen. We've already seen it with Mike Tomlin and Brad Childress. But having said all that, no, anybody who says that they actually want it, Brian Flores fired because that the defense gave it up at the end, that's preposterous. And yeah, Sarah, you're right. Everybody says that when the team loses.
Hey, shout out Darius said, hey, Rap, Kirk Cousins not a loser. LOL. I've always said it. Kirk Cousins is a loser, bro. Kirk Cousins is used to losing too. You feel me? Like, he's used to losing. That's why I say, like, Kirk Cousins to get his stats and stuff, but him losing, it doesn't matter. I mean, come on, man. Tendencies show 4th and 8. You throw a check down. You don't even try. That is tendencies of a loser. It didn't matter that we didn't get the first down on that play. You know what I mean? You want me to play the button real quick? Hold on. I'll play it for you, Darren. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, check flat on 4th and 8. Man, I mean, that's how you really piss off a fan base for me.
I'm saying
It's just like double middle fingering the opportunity to get a first down.
double middle fingering the opportunity to get a first down. That's what losers do. It's what losers do. But yeah, continue.
As far as draft thoughts, Steven, it all kind of depends on where they finish. If you're asking me what I would do, I would obviously get re-sign Daniil Hunter and Justin Jefferson, figure out what I'm going to do with Christian Darrisaw, whether I'm going to re-sign him next offseason or push it out to the following offseason. And yeah, if there was a way to trade up to get Drake May, that's what I would do. Now, that's pretty unrealistic at this point, even, hypothetically, and nobody likes talking about this, but even if they did lose out and got to 6-11, they're not going to be quite in a position to do that without having to give up 2 or 3 other first round picks. But to his other question, how do we pick the final games with either Hall or Dobbs? I think with Dobbs, they will probably go 2-3 at best. With Hall, maybe 3-2, but we don't know because we don't know what we don't know. And again, to be clear, because I know there's been some back and forth in the chat, and I haven't put them all up here because it's not necessary to, but no, we're not saying that we think Hall can go 5-0 in these games and get us into the playoffs and then let's go from there. What we're saying is that Nick Mullins does nothing for me. Josh Dobbs at this point does nothing for me. I'd like to see. Maybe Jaren Hall would do absolutely no better. Maybe he would go 0-5 too, but I'd like to know because at this point, to your point, Dobbs probably a better scrambler. I think Hall is certainly not the passer that Kirk Cousins is, but I'd like to think that he, from what we have seen on that one drive, plus what we saw in the preseason, that he's a little bit more accurate than Josh Dobbs is. And again, Nick Mullins, he does nothing. What does that get you? What does that get you both in the short term and the long term? But I say 2-3 at best for Dobbs. And I'll say, best case scenario you could probably hope for is to beat the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Packers, and then you probably lose both games to the Lions if you have Jared Mahomes Hall. Maybe you sneak out one of those, but what say you, Rep?
I'm all in on putting Hall in, man. You know what I mean? I'm all in on putting Hall in. To be honest with you, the Josh Dobbs experiment is over. It should be over. And I'm okay with putting Hall in and just seeing where it goes. You know what I mean? Because truthfully, as Vikings fans, we lost 2 games in a row. And I said this when I was live with Yogi. We lost 2 games in a row. And the crazy part is we're still right in the damn race to make the playoff. Like we literally can fucking backpedal into the playoffs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just keeping it real. We can backpedal into the playoffs, man, because the NFC is so garbage.
Yeah.
Outside the bottom half of the NFC is so trash, man. You got you got the damn Eagles, Cowboys, and the goddamn 49ers. All right. After that, there's nothing. After that, there's nothing. So like we can still make the playoffs by damn near accidentally winning 1 or 2 more games out of these 5, right? Like literally. You know what I mean? So I mean, I just want to see Hall, man. Like, I want to see Hall. I'm inspired and intrigued by that second drive before he got hurt, man.
Right.
I mean, some darts. Let's think about this throw last night with Josh Dobbs. I want y'all to go back in time with me. Jordan Addison is wide the fuck open.
Yeah.
Wide open, bro.
It was so bad.
I mean, listen.
I'll get Bandino.
So wide open to the point where me or you could have made that throw, bro. Like so wide. I mean, that throw right there made the hairs on the back of my neck stick up in a bad way, man. Like all you had to do, why are you throwing the ball leading this man out of bounds? All you had to do was throw it to the inside and he would have tracked that motherfucker for a touchdown, bro.
He would have walked in.
He would have walked in. But yet that play right there actually really broke my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That play broke my heart. I mean, but we wound up scoring though. So, to say the least, we did wind up scoring, but still, yeah, that play would have really boosted the crowd. Cause I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this though, but I feel like the crowd wasn't in it last night. And I get it. It was a boring game, but I just feel like the crowd was out of it, man. The bank was not turned up last night. It wasn't.
Shout out to Jim NFL 7. It's over. Vikings done. No play.
I still got hope for the team though. I still got hope for the team. As long as the right choices are made.
To be clear, the pecking order is the Eagles and 49ers and then the Cowboys. And then the next tier starts with the Lions. We all know the Lions are going to Lions. They're up and down. They frankly should have lost to the Bears. They should be on a 2-game losing streak. And then after that, you got the winner of the garbage NFC South division between New Orleans and Atlanta, neither of which are any good. And then you got us and the Packers and the Rams. So yes, you still could. Now, again, will they do anything? Probably not. If they got to go to San Francisco in the wild card round, they're going to get mollywopped. We all know that. If you can somehow find a way to get matched up with either Detroit or somehow, some way get matched up with the winner of the NFC South, you got a chance of winning that game. And it's pretty much Katie bar the door after that. But we'll see.
Yeah. Shout out Frozen, man. That's what I said earlier, Frozen. It's about who we don't have. It ain't about who we have. It's about who we don't have. And right now it's obvious, man. We got a quarterback problem. But you know what? We got, again, I'm going to keep saying this, man. R.A. Peasy going, I'm like a damn rocket scientist. You hear me? Like, I like evidence, man. Just like our boy Dobbs, man. Dobbs, when he do his little study, man, they go off of evidence, man. That's what them scientists do, man. You got to have trends and evidence, man. That's how they do what they do. And that's how I am when it comes to this damn team. You hear me? So, like, I've seen enough of number 15. I'm telling you, right? We've seen 4 weeks.
Yeah, he ain't no like the other number 15 we saw in U.S. Bank.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen 4 weeks. And you know what? I look past the touchdown where he dives in and everybody taking the picture and going and get, the Dobster nod and all that. Hey, look, it's exciting, but I look past it because in that same game, I seen about 3 throws that should have been interceptions that touched defenders' hands. I seen about 4 fumbles on the snap. You know what I mean? Things that it doesn't matter how long you've been on a team. Football is football. You know what I mean? Things that shouldn't happen. I don't give a damn. Right? So I just can't look past that type of shit, man. I just can't. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm not. And yes, the one off Addison, we'll give him one. All right. You agree with that, Day?
Absolutely. We'll give him one off Addison. And the one that was on 4th down wouldn't have changed all that much regardless either way.
We'll give him one.
So we'll give him that one as well.
Give him one. I'll give him one. So yet he still had 3. You know what I mean? And Nudge, Rap, are you really ready to give up on Dobbs? Come on, man. We have had Kirk for 6 fucking years or what, 1 or 2 more games. Or what does that say? Because I can't.
I'll get it. I was waiting to shout him out. But shout out to Nudge. What's going on? We've had Kirk for 6 years. 1 or 2 more games isn't going to be that big of a deal. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Nudge. But I'd rather see what Hall can do in those 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Because I'm just on a rant, man, tonight, man, because I'm just pissed off. Like, y'all done got me hot. I'm telling y'all done got me hot, bruh. Like,
let me get back to James. What's up, James? Thanks for joining us. I knew after the first offensive, they go on dang near a 10-minute drive. We go 3 and out. And even though the defense held them to a field goal, it's like, okay, we already in the second quarter. We've only had 1 possession. Yeah.
See, that's why I like to be real. It's not good for me to do shows when I feel like this because I feel like I'm bad at it because I just be saying like I don't know how to watch my mouth, man. You know what I mean? Like I be really, really mad, bro. Like I told y'all. And a game like that right there, bro, like a game like that is what would have really pushed me over the edge, man, where I really just be wanting to spaz on this team, bro, like pissing me off. I sat there and wasted 3 hours of my life.
Yeah, I know. We all did.
I mean, can I get that time back? No, I can't get that time back.
No. I can't imagine how spicy you would be if we was on your channel tonight, by the way. But
like I'm trying to watch my mouth on your channel, you know what I'm saying? Because I know sometimes your pops be popping in all type of stuff, man. He
don't care.
I gotta respect the crib, man. But listen, to answer your question though, Nudge, I get it. Hey, go blue, Nudge. Hey, that's why Nudge, my boy, man. Let's give Nudge a Ric Flair, man.
There you go. And a Ric Flair.
That was a good game.
I get the point too of what's up with 1 or 2 games, but I'll counter you with this, Nudge. Why go one or 2 more games? You know what I mean? So like we can have that debate. Like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to move off now. You want to do 1 or 2 more games, and I'm going to ask you, why would you want to do 1 or 2 more games after watching that last night? After watching that last night, are you ready to watch 1 or 2 more of that? Because I'm not. I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared. I'm scared to watch 1, 2 more of that. For real. You don't even want to see the next show if you do that again.
Bandino reminded you after you hosted the Eagles fan watch party last year. Because you was all over those Eagles channels, and boy, oh boy, did you have to fuck your job.
Yeah, I was. And what's crazy too is last night I thought about this. If y'all look on my channel, before the game, I dropped the video praising Dobbs so much.
Mhm.
Praising Dobbs so much. I mean, I was like, yo, Dobbs is going to have a great game. He's about to turn rapping friends into believers and this, that, and the third. And I said, would you look at this? Would you look at this, man? When I try to do the right thing, bro,
Right.
I'm just trying to do the right thing, man. I'm trying to do what y'all wanted me to do, man. And I was jump on the Dobbs train and I should have stuck with my guns, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Sometimes,
Yeah.
most of the time, y'all do be right, man. But god damn, y'all was wrong on this one,
Yeah.
man.
It always moves. Shout out Grandpa Dave in the building from Vikings First and Skull. As mentioned earlier, if you guys do not already subscribe to Vikings First and Skull, both on the YouTube
And the Ric Flair.
as well as your favorite podcast aggregator. Dave, I've got it cut up. I just got to get it over to you. So I'll get that to you here after the show tonight. So I appreciate you. But thanks again for stopping by. Let's hit the reset button because we're going to finna wrap this up here in about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
If you have not already, hit the like button. If you don't already subscribe to both Purple Pocket Podcast, that's Rap, or Purple and Gold for Days, that's me. Hit the subscribe buttons and ring the notification bell. That way YouTube might actually send you a notification once in a while. Jokes aside, we appreciate everybody for coming on. Shout out to GMAX72. What's going on, Greg? Good to see you.
Shout out to Evil in the house, man. Hi, rapping.
We
Take
got-
that. You don't like
yeah.
that nickname. He
I'm
done
over
changed
it.
the whole nickname up.
I'm
He done changed
over
the whole
it.
nickname up.
I am definitely over
Hey,
it.
but I ain't gonna lie. For the ones who came in late, man, y'all got to go back and rewatch this show, man. Your boy RAP was spazzing a little bit out here, man. I apologize. You know
bit.
what I mean? But I'm frustrated with this motherfucker.
Yeah, a little bit. And we'll also hit the
frustrated.
reset button for people who are just joining us here. If you haven't already heard, my daughter's going on a little field trip here this spring, doing a little fundraiser on the channels here. So any donations, either via the YouTube stream with the Super Chat, Super Stickers, or through the Cash app, we'll also get some matching donations from the educational system. So anything you can throw down. I know it was just Good Friday. We all started spending some money on Christmas presents, but whatever you can do, and whether that's tonight or the next couple of shows, will be available to you there as well. So
What'd
yes,
you call it? Good Friday?
Excuse
You
me,
mean
Black.
Black
If I
Friday?
said
No, I was
Good
upset.
Friday, I meant Black
Yeah.
Friday. I apologize. That's the second time I
I was about to say, damn, hold up. I thought I was tripping for a minute, to be real. I thought I was tripping for a minute. I'm like, oh yeah, it is called Good
No,
Friday.
it ain't you. It ain't you. All right. Well, with all that being said, hold on
With
just a
all
second.
that being said, and he means
Yes.
it all that. Hey, for real, Dave. You know, like, and that's another thing too. Like, me and Dave got this project going, and I've been trying hard to work on this, and like, I'm struggling with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm struggling, man. I'm an artist too. I think my problem is just like I'm very critical and picky at when I put out music. So like finding the right instrumental, man, like it's tough right now. It's tough.
No, I'm not going. She is. But you know what? Maybe she'll bump into the real Ice T when she's in New York, because I know I believe that's where he films his show, but I digress. Two Evil says 6 and 11. So Two Evil's got us losing the rest of the way out, as always, but I digress. I don't know that would get us top 10. I said 8 to 13, so maybe it will. Maybe it wouldn't.
G-Mac, man. Hey, G-Mac, you gotta go. Hey, G-Mac, you gotta go back and rewatch the show, man. Rewatch the show. I'm telling you, it don't take long before I start turning up.
And as I said, to a certain extent, it's the light version. It's the PG-13 version. It's not entirely the R version, because I think you've actually held back a little bit here too.
I held back a little bit here tonight, man. But you know what, man? I ain't gonna lie, man. I was getting a little frustrated out here, man. You know, because I think my problem is I have high expectations for our football team, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I do, man. Like, as a Vikings fan, bro, like I go into every game, like, man, I take pride in this team, and I'm like, yo, there is no reason why we should go out there and play like a bunch of sissies. We should go out there and smack this team that we are superior than, right? Like, there's no reason why we should be in a tug of war with the Chicago Bears, bruh, especially in the bank. And that stuff really bothers me. And then I see Kevin O'Connell, you know, call a game at the end of the game when here's an opportunity for you to really show that you aggressive, man. Stick a dagger in these motherfuckers, man. Know what I mean? But yet you playing like a wussy. No, we're just gonna punt. I mean, you should have just punted on first down, bruh. Like, there's no difference, dog. Like, you should have just your defense caused the fumble. You should have just punted it on first down.
Right.
Like, for real. And I used to think that a lot with Mike Zimmer. When Mike Zimmer was head coach, there was so many games where I'm like, yo, why even run the ball 2 times, 3 times in a row? Just punt it on first, bro. Like, you just punt it on first. What, you getting rid of 20 seconds? Just punt it on first. You know what I mean? Like, you better off getting a pick 6. For sure.
Shout out Caesar in the building, looking a little side. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back. That was mentioned a few dozen times. A few choice words as well. from our guy Rap here. Well, we got this bye week, so hopefully they can do a little bit of soul searching. Hopefully they can say, all right, this is the direction we're going to go. Because to me, if you are going to stick with Dobbs, then go back to utilizing his strengths. I get it. You want to add to the strengths by getting him to be able to do some things in the pocket, but don't legislate all of. And maybe he said, you know what? We can't afford you getting hurt. You almost had a concussion last week in Denver. I don't know. All I know is playing scared. Scared money. What's the phrase? Scared money don't make money.
Yeah.
Okay. Playing scared or coaching scared is a surefire way to lose a game that you had no business losing. They had no business losing to the Bears. None. The Bears are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to start getting on a rant. I think you did enough ranting for both.
Yeah, I did enough, man. And real quick before we get up out of here, man. Shout out Chuck Low Twin, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Haul or bust, baby. Hey, shout out to Chuck Low. Hey, let's go, man. Like, that's what I like to see. I'm on the Hall train. You feel me?
Yep.
I'm on the Hall train. I don't care. I want Hall. You feel me? I ain't even about to argue with nobody else, man. I want Hall. I'm not about to argue with you. And matter of fact, look, you want to know, let me do this real quick before we go, because this is funny, bruh. Like, I really thought this. So I put on my community tab, right? This is hilarious, bro. So I'm even gonna scroll back. I'm gonna scroll back and find this real quick. Hold on, we gotta scroll back. It ain't that far back. It was probably after like the first game. Let's see. I put who would you rather, right?
Right.
Who would you rather, Josh Dobbs or Mahomes Hall? Right? Y'all wanted to be on Josh Dobbs. Y'all wanted to be on Dobbs, right?
Yeah, it's 85% now with 400 votes.
So yeah. So I went back because after that good game he had against the Saints, I was like, let's see where the fan base is. You know, like I know it ain't a ton of people, but it's 1K votes on this one, right? So that's a good enough. That gives you a good enough gauge of okay, you know, there's some people that believe, right? And it was 55% Dobb and Weave. You feel me? Now there's surprisingly there was still 45% wanting Jerry Mahomes Hall. You know what I mean? Now this is after the Saints game. So surprisingly, there was still that amount, right? But then tonight, I said, you know what? Let's revisit this hoe. And you want to know what's crazy? I even put in 2024, who would you rather have as your quarterback? Kirk O'Change or Dobbs? 1,000 votes. We got Dobbs 67% to Kirk Cousins 33%.
Yeah, I think we ought to be changing that one right now.
All right. So I just want to say, like, let's stop being on this roller coaster of seeing one thing and don't believe your eyes all the time. Go back and look a little bit further deeper into it. You know what I mean? Because tonight, what'd you say it was?
Which one? I'm sorry.
86-14, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Steven, no, they haven't. They're not going to announce a starter until closer to game time. There's no need to. Number one, you got the bye week to do your evaluations and to go through practice and everything. But no, they haven't announced that, and they won't at minimum until next Wednesday. Yeah. At minimum, and they probably won't even do it
Wednesday. No, they ain't gonna do it that soon.
They probably won't even do it that soon because that's when the first injury.
They might do it the following Wednesday.
No, I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm saying a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, but because we don't play this Sunday. Yeah, you're right. Yep, next Wednesday. Yep.
Right. And again, I don't think they're going to announce it then. They probably won't even. They could go right up to game time. Could go right up to game time. There is no rule that says that they have to divulge that, so they're going to keep it secret from their opponent anyway. Well, want to thank everybody for joining us. If you didn't already hit the like button on the way out, wipe your feet on the door, as Rap would say. Please subscribe to both Purple Pocket Podcast and Purple and Gold for Days, as well as Vikings First and Skull, all on the YouTube page, as well as Vikings First and Skull on your favorite podcast aggregator. Thursday night.
Sorry for yelling at y'all too, man. Sorry for yelling at y'all, man. You know I still love y'all.
I'm pretty sure everybody found it entertaining at the very least. Thursday, 8:15 back here on Purple and Gold for Days, where we'll have Skull for Days, Thursdays Talkers. It's going to be interesting being that it's going to be bye-week material, but I'm still going. I missed my show last Thursday on Thanksgiving. Just had a little too much going on, eating a little too much food, doing a little too much drinks, and not too bad. But anyway, we'll be back Thursday. You going live Friday night on Purple Pocket Podcast?
Yeah. Friday night. It's going to be Friday night wrap up, man. But real quick, man, let me plug this while we got y'all in the building too, man. The merch store is up on Purple Pocket Podcast. We actually just dropped an exclusive one tonight, man, called Be For Real, and that junk go hard, bruh. Like straight up, and it's actually inspired by Yogi's grandparents. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
really?
So, and it go fire, man. Hey, listen. So go check out the merch store, man. And if you can grab, it's holiday season, man. Get your people something. You already gonna spend that money on something else, might as well support the dog. Know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
Like, so go ahead and grab you a hat, grab you something, a shirt, all type of stuff in there. There you go, man. So yeah, tap in. Go over there, shop something up, man, and cop something, man. Let me know you bought something. You know, shout out to Bob, shout out to Gary, shout out to Skull
Oh,
Mafia. You know, there's a
Mafia,
couple
yeah.
people. We already had like 19 sales. So I appreciate y'all, man. It really took off, you know, from the first night. So we appreciate y'all support, man. But let's keep it going, man. We're gonna be dropping new stuff on there all the time.
I'm going to re-shout out everybody who made the donations tonight. We got Davey Change. We got My Worthless Opinion, Mary, Gary, McAndrews, Gary again, Gary again, Gary again, Gary again. Gary hooking us all up. We also got Joey.
You know,
Thanks,
Gary gonna act bad.
Yes. And shout out to Gary and you for your show last Friday to raise stuff for his grandson too. And that's what I love about this community is we all come together and support each other in any way, shape, or form. But I want to thank each person that came through the door tonight. If you haven't already done so, hit those subscribe buttons. Next week, we don't have a wrapping for days because we're going to be on the bye week. Whether we do just sort of a bye week wrap up, we haven't decided yet. But 2 weeks after the Raiders game, we'll be over on Purple Pocket Podcast for wrapping for days. And that will be at its normal time. 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. And hopefully the Vikings will have broken this 2-game losing streak that they are currently on. Do want to thank again everybody for coming out here again. I'll be back on Thursday night. Rap will be on Friday night. We appreciate you guys so very, very much. Thank you kindly as always for joining us. Skol to the next episode. We will see you Thursday and Friday nights. Good night and enjoy the bye week.